Welcome into the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures from right here in the Impact, the Impact Powersports studio. So glad you are here. If you are just listening to audio, I look like I'm part of the Detroit Lions street team. Got the Lions hoodie, the black one with the blue letters, and the Lions hat. The blue winter hat. Some would call it a toboggan, which I've never understood that, but yeah, I don't I'll get to that later. This is just by chance that I'm wearing. I don't wake up and say, "Yeah, I'm going to go and support." I mean, I have, but it's not today. Today's not the day when I wake up and say, "Yeah, the team won. I'm gonna represent." I never do that. Very rarely. Once in a while, I might go, "All right, here we go." But I find that when I do that, it just, I don't know. I'll get to that in a bit. Our beloved Darla is not with us for this show. The dog is acting out. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that my daughter came home from college and she's staying with us. You know, she's kind of like in that weird phase where she's, out of the house, but not really. Well, she's back for Christmas break. And Darla knows it. So Darla constantly wants to be around the new shiny thing, my daughter. "Oh, I've never met you before. I want to spend every minute with you. And if I'm not around you, I'm going to freak out and lose my mind." So we get in here for the normal day, and the dog just starts going bananas, screaming and yelling and crying and it's like, we can't have that. We need a solid day where there's no ridiculous interruption, where we're focused and I don't have to get up and put her in the crate. So I just put her in I did it preemptively. Okay. I which is remarkable for me. That's something that I don't do. Plan ahead. What? So that's what's up. She's butthurt. And she's probably going to be even more so because the Mexicans are going to be here in just a few short minutes. Now, I don't know how many actual Mexicans are going to be in the home as E-Rock is checking in. That's always fantastic. Hello to Eric Nagel. I don't know how many are actually Mexican. The guy who runs the heating and cooling business is Joe Martinez. And he's a Mexican. But I don't know how many people in his crew are Mexican. And I know that he's got his son-in-law who helps him with the business, named David, who is like a Chinese Russian or something like that. No, it's not far from that. Chinese Italian I think he's a Chinese Italian guy. Like his mom or dad, one of his parents is Chinese, the other one's an Italian. Very interesting family. They go to the hockey games, and it's like one of these things is not like the other. You got a bunch of lily white West Michigan assholes. And then this whole family is, you got the Mexicans, you got the Chinese, Italians, Joe Martinez's daughter is a Mexican. She married the Chinese Italian, and they had two girls that are Chinese Italian Mexican. Which, by the way, wonderful, beautiful family. They just look so much better than all of the disgusting Dutch white bastards that live where I live. Iraq says you have the full United Nations going. I'm not kidding you. When I'm where I sit for the hockey games in between the penalty boxes, they stand out like Mike Tyson trying to read directly across from me. Just filling up the row of 5-6 people. I'm like, look at that bunch. Tyler says my 3 favorite types of food: Chinese, Italian, and Mexican. Well, anyway, they're installing the new furnace today, which, the last thing you want when it comes to all this, first of all, the thing started making noise, the old one. The old one is that's original to the home. It's like 17, 18 years old. And it started making this god-awful noise. So I recorded it. And he said, oh, yeah, that's and he said some term. He goes, that thing's going. That needs to be replaced. I'm telling you, it's going to set you back $500-$600. Okay, great. And then he goes, I was completely wrong on that. For that model, it's like $1,400, $1,500. I go, oh, my God. He goes, just get a new furnace. I go, all right, I'll get a new furnace. So that's happening. Just in time for Christmas, just in time for spending. Oh, my God. All right, but that happens. Whatever. Who gives a shit? It's just money. E-Rock says, I just replaced my entire furnace last week, plus my water heater a month ago. It was over $17,000. Oh, no. Fuck. Dude, I'm sorry. The immortal E-Rock from Compound Media. But I do want to update what we're doing this week. This is the week for the Great Food Giveaway. Great Food Giveaway number 4, where we are feeding 100 families, people who are less fortunate than us. They drive up to Irvine's Auto Repair on Thursday at 3 p.m. We put a box in the trunk of their car, Christmas ham, potatoes, corn, gravy, jar of gravy, a bag of rolls, and a pumpkin pie. The Grand Rapids Pit Bull Alliance says, do you have any pets? Yeah, I got 2 dogs and a cat. Here's some pet food. Okay, there you go. And then after that, they head to the pink zone. In this assembly line of awesomeness, this assembly line of giving, there's the pink zone. And Team Pink will be handing out pads, tampons, or period cups. Amanda has a question. Why is it called the pink zone? Blood is red. True. And I didn't call it that. I called it Team Pink because women are going to handle it. You know how like boy is blue, girl is pink? This is definitely Team Pink. Yeah, it wasn't so much about the color of the material that's leaving the woman or the color of the genitals, as it seemed to be, as these people are thinking, Rob and Amanda. It's about women are, I don't want dudes passing out tampons. That's, fucking weird. Can you imagine if you're a dude and say, yeah, hey, you want some tampons? I don't want to make these people uncomfortable. I'm just kind of like thinking ahead for once. So if you're on Team Pink, you're passing out tampons or pads or period cups, which there's got to be a better term for those than period cups. I do have an update for you, though. I went and purchased the food on Friday. Now, initially, remember, we started out with the thought that it was going to be like $4,600 for all that food. And then the hams went on sale, and there was a couple other sale items. And that dollar amount dropped down to, I've been quoting you, $3,083.80. When I got to the cash register, it came out to just north of $2,800. And when I put in my M-Perks, it took even more off. The grand total for all of that food was $2,684.69. Now, this is awesome because all of you, 49 of you at last check, 49 people donated when we passed our virtual hat. And we came up with $5,196.06, two of which were $1,000 donations. So that means 47 of us gave $3,196.06. But I'm just giving you statistics at this point. So 49 of you, $5,196.06. Which means for food, $2,684.69. As I mentioned, that was the final cost of the food. The tampons, that leaves us $2,511.37 for tampons or any type of feminine products that may be in need. So that's really great. I mean, that's a lot. We are going to have, when people drive up there, all these people that will be there, all of us volunteers, the food will be stacked up, boxes high. The tampons will be stacked up. The dog food, the pet food will be stacked up. And away we go. The work is done. Thank you to everybody who supported. We appreciate it very much. The big event happens Thursday at 3 p.m. I even got a $5 donation from one person at the end of last week. Thank you very much. I see you. That's what I was talking about. That person's like, hey, I can't afford anything but this. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So we will be going at it on Thursday at 3 p.m. at Irvine's for the great food giveaway with tampons. Number 4. If you would like to be there, just show up. We're going to get there at around 2 p.m. And then by 3 p.m., we'll start giving the food away, maybe even before that. Sometimes people line up, and we're like, we don't have to make them wait. We're ready to go. So, and spread the word so that enough people are there. I really hope that we aren't left waiting around for people to show up. But we're hoping and praying that it'll all work out quickly. Everybody will get the food, and then, boom, we're done. And then that will be it for yet another year. Afterwards, we're all going out to eat. We are going to Beltline Bar again, and it's going to be awesome. Excited about it. Thank you very much. And that's it. That's it. So a nice little bow on our package, a proverbial package. Lots of package talk going on today. But all right. And by the way, if there is someone who does want to make a last-minute donation, by all means. So I'm going to include that in the show notes as usual. And in the chat right now, if you want to throw a $1, $2, $5 at us, whatever it may be, as we speak. There you go. If not, no big deal. All right. I had planned on, I talked about this last week. I said, when it comes to the Lions with 4 games left, I kind of freaked out, and it was like, I'm convinced that they're going to finish the year horribly and not win another game. All right. Now, that did not happen. They beat the shit out of Denver on Saturday night. But I went into this with the idea that I don't even want to watch. I just can't take the feeling that it's slipping away. It's unpleasant for me. And I'm kind of a baby. I want them to win so badly that I'm like, fuck it. I can't. It's a mental thing. It really is. And it's weird because they've won 9 games going into Saturday's game and lost 4. They're in first place in the division, and they've performed fantastic at times. But recently, they've performed like shit and somehow managed to win several of those games. But they most recently lost. So I was like, fucking A, this is terrible. You had the ugly loss on Thanksgiving. You had the ugly loss against the Bears. And I'm like, Jesus. But I guess I don't have the right stuff to be like true Blue Lion fan, because I was like, I'm not even going to watch. And it turns out that the game was on the NFL Network. So I was like, well, even if I am able to watch, or I decide that I'm going to, I can't because I don't have the NFL Network. But Diana was watching my daughter Jackie's dog at their place, and she goes, "Come on over and see Cece." That's the dog. So I drive all the way over there. I walk in. I'm there 1 minute. She goes, "Oh, they have the NFL Network here. Put it on." And I'm like, "Oh, fuck." Now I didn't want to say, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not going to watch it. Or I didn't like put it on and then go into a different part of their house. I just put it on. And, well, they kind of beat the shit out of Denver. Murdered them. Like 42-17. Beat the shit out of Denver. So this is fucked up. Because now there's 3 games remaining. They're 10-4. And if they win this coming weekend, they win the division. They're in the playoffs, and they win the division. And they're taking on a Vikings team that is using, I'm not kidding you, their 4th-string quarterback. They started the year with Kirk Cousins. He got hurt. They went with the rookie. He sucked. They brought in Josh Dobbs from Arizona. He's one of those guys who's got that disease. One of those people that has that disease where he has no hair. What's it called? It's alopecia. And so, which, by the way, he has alopecia. And Will Smith's wife, they say she has it too. But she's got stubble on her head. So I don't know. Maybe she's just started getting it or something. I have no idea. Josh Dobbs was pretty good, and then he started to become shitty. So then they brought in some other guy I've never heard of. Lions should be able to win, but you never take anything for granted with them. The Lions are notorious for they'll be going up against a player who, like a quarterback who's no one's ever heard of, and that guy will have like an amazing game. That's the old Matt Flynn scenario. Years ago, the Lions took on the Packers with a backup quarterback for the Packers by the name of Matt Flynn. And, like, the guy was terrible leading up to that game. And then in the Matt Flynn game, the guy threw for like 5,000 yards and 50 touchdowns and secured in the offseason a giant contract because of one game, never to be heard from again. He sucked from that day forward. So there you go. Lions still in really good shape. And if they win, if they keep winning, I don't even, it's so surreal to me. Jada Pinkett Smith looks like alien xenomorph. I don't know what that is, but I'll take it, E-Rock. Blue State Rob says alopecia is great if you hate pubes. If Seattle loses or ties tonight, the Lions will clinch a playoff spot. Chris says Alien Xenomorph is the alien from Alien. Oh, the film? She does? I don't know. I've never seen the Alien Xenomorph movie. I saw the other Alien movies. She doesn't look anything like that. What the fuck are you talking about? I'll take your word for it. All right. So welcome to today's show. So glad you were here. This show, as I indicated, is brought to you by Impact Powersports. That's where the studio is, right here, Impact Powersports Studio. And if you're watching on Facebook, X, or YouTube, I'm going to send you on your way. Thank you so much for being here. But if you want the audio podcast, get it wherever you download shows. Sign up on Twitch if you want the full show. Just download the Twitch app, search Eric Zane Live, and then you are in business. Or go to twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live if you want to catch the rest of the show. No problem. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. I'm undecided if we're going to be doing shows this week. I think we are. I think it's business as usual this week. I think leading up to Christmas, I think you got to have a normal week. So that's the plan. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. I just posted not only the Insane Asylum and the Lost Zane recordings, but Who Are These Zanes, which was unbelievably fun to hear Eric from spring of 1998. And I also posted the Ben and Eric Patreon podcast, where our very own Jimmy in Portland, Maine, says that he is thinking about suing Jody Messina. You got to hear that craziness. That's all on Patreon for free. 7 days. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. Thank you to the folks watching on Facebook, X, and YouTube.